Hi guys, this is Richard. Welcome to another episode of E-Luminate, a show shining a light on Chicago's indie filmmaking community. Today's guest is director-producer Ksenia Ivanova. She recently got her MFA in cinema directing from Columbia, and her thesis film, Jack and Anna, has been accepted into more than 25 film festivals. Now let's get into it.
Why would you desire to enter into a contract of this sort?
When Anna and I met, we liked each other from the start, so we got to go in together.
So Ksenia, first of all, welcome to the show. Really nice to see you virtually. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Like what do you do and, what's your background?
I fell in love with filmmaking when I was a kid. My father, he bought this VHS player, and I started just watching movies. And I never actually imagined myself doing anything else. I attended the film school in Moscow. At the same time, I was finishing a university in St. Petersburg, cultural studies, philosophy. It's another degree I have. I made 3 short films, very simple ones, but it allowed me to apply to master programs. And Columbia offered me a full tuition, which was absolutely insane, incredible.
So how have your life been after graduation?
Everything was so fast after I finished Columbia. This festival circuit with Jack and Anna, we were getting into one festival by another. And it was like a very, very, emotional year. We had so many events. So sometimes I'm even like trying to catch up where I am now, what's going on.
How do you like Chicago so far?
I love Chicago. It's my home now. It became a true home. I think it's a great city. We have such great diversity of artists here. This filmmaking community that exists in Chicago is absolutely amazing.
So what are you working on right now?
I'm mostly working with original content production as a director, as a producer.
That's really nice because I know it's not that easy for filmmakers after school, especially for foreigners, to find a job and stay here.
Yeah.
So I know you were talking about your short film, Jack and Anna. Can you tell us a little more about this film? What is this short film about?
It's based on 3 events from 1900s, and it's pretty much about a young lady, a young woman who was put on trial for same-sex marriage back in 1913. For me, from the beginning, this was a very, important story to tell. I felt a strong connection to it. And last spring, this is when we started our festival circuit. Actually, it's very interesting because, I was scared when this lockdown situation happened and pandemic happened. All these festivals we were selected into this year, they started either postponing or even canceling. That was so frustrating and painful. But I feel like the most of the festivals will be virtual. And I'm fine with this. I think it's also a good opportunity to show your work to more people. So I'm thinking about this in a positive way.
So for the film, for Jack and Anna, what was your message in the story? As a director, what was the message that you want to tell to your audience?
I wanted people to think about, have we progressed since that time towards LGBT community? We all are different, and I wish people be more friendlier and more respectful to each other. I think that everyone can feel related to my characters, to what my characters went through, and maybe my film can change someone's mind.
I think for us filmmakers, it's kind of our job to bring those things to the big screen, And I'm really glad to see that, you guys have a good film festival run because, that means people value that point of view and want to see more of that content.
I just have one more question.
One last question I have for you is that, because I know you moved from Russia to here, I'm kind of in a similar situation. I came here for college as well and stayed here. And I know, for people like us, it's not always easy. If you're going to give some advice to people like us, or foreign student, or foreign Russian students, or other international students come here to study and try to stay here, what are some advice you have for them?
It's an interesting question. My goal to come to United States wasn't just about studying. From my childhood, I had just this idea that one day I will just move to a different country. I traveled a lot, so I met people from all over the world, and it actually helped me to develop my communication skills, to understand other people better. We have our cultural, traditional, things. We were raised in different countries, and definitely it influenced us of who we are. And I think we should be again more friendly, open. I think that would be my biggest advice.
I do agree with that because I know, for example, China as a socialist country, there's a lot of divide culturally speaking. One of the most precious things you can learn here is really just embrace the cultural differences and embrace different people. Well, I think that was great. Thank you again, Ksenia, for being here with us today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to speak to you. Great questions. You guys just do an amazing job. Thank you so much.
I hope I can see you in person after everything has settled in a little bit, because Ayusha has been talking crazy about you. So I think we're due for a meeting sometime.
You look like someone from Denver.
I'm sorry. You've confused me with somebody else. My name is Jack.